Hey, by heck, it's me, Ian. And in this video, I'm just going to talk a bit about this magazine. I do get a few magazines, and some of them are quite collectible, each month I get. And this is definitely a collectible. After sometimes even a few issues, they go out of print, and they become quite rare to get hold of and hard. And they have a lot of really good articles, interesting features about horror. A lot of it is very retro, though it does have up-to-date horror, but there's a lot, of course, for people like me who love the old Hammer and Amicus and then the 80s horror. It's all in this magazine. It's called The Dark Side, and it's really good. It comes out every month now recently, but it used to come out about every 2 months, and it's just a very good magazine. And the fact that it is collectible is absolutely just adds to it, because it is well worth collecting. Now, you can normally get electronic versions of everyone, and I don't know what it is with me, but I don't want an electronic version. I like the physical copy. Yes, see, physical media in all its forms also comes with comics, magazines, books. That's it, yeah. But this, I mean, look at this cover. Isn't this fantastic? And there's Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. And this mainly centres on an article about the Amicus film, The Skull, which they were both in. And he talks about that film. I'll just give you a quick idea of some of the things in here. There's, in this particular, there's an interesting article about Joan Crawford. How in her later career, she started appearing in films that you perhaps wouldn't have associated with her. She came over to the UK, was involved in filming some of these. I mean, Joan Crawford was, you know, I always see her with, do you remember with Betty Davis in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? That is outstanding. But she carried on into her career, and people were wondering, what's she doing appearing in these films? And the ultimate in that Joan Crawford film is actually Trog. And there's it, all about Trog. That was her last film as well, imagine. But a lot of people enjoy it as a cult film, Trog. It's really interesting. You've also got here, which is in anticipation of what's coming out, a look back at Poltergeist. There's quite a bit about Poltergeist in retrospect, and of course it's coming out in 4K, as you know. There's quite a lot on Poltergeist and about the whole production. It's very interesting, very good stuff. Then we've got about the skull, the Lee and Cushing collaboration for Amicus, of course. Amicus, some more of the skull. That was that's another film we might look at as well. What there is some reviews then, like for instance, like you can see a review of the Chucky TV series. You've got about the new edition of The Mummy, which is reviewed. There's all sorts of reviews coming out here. Oh yeah, and there's the Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, which has at last got a reissue. But I've got a copy of that, and will get reviewed as well sometime. Cat's Eyes, yeah, review of that. I've got that. That's a great film, Stephen King. So that's just some of the reviews. Then there is something quite interesting. I want to look into more of this. This film called The Possession of Joel Delaney. Now, The Possession of Joel Delaney is considered very ahead of its time, and it was directed, now I've got a Doctor Who connection here, by Waris Hussein, who was a very early director of Doctor Who in 1963. Particularly, like, we remember the Marco Polo story, things like that. He was involved in all these early Doctor Who stories. It's interesting because, you know, everybody's going, oh, you hear is woke. Well, Doctor Who, this bloke was a gay Indian bloke directing Doctor Who. That would have got him going nowadays, wouldn't it? But nobody, just accepted. As Verity Lambert as well, first woman producer of Doctor Who. But there I digress. Sorry, going on about Doctor Who, but, alright. But anyhow, this film looks very interesting. I definitely may investigate about this film. I've not heard of it, The Possession of Joel Delaney. But it gives you quite a lot of information in here about it, and definitely something I'll look into. Then we've got articles on Karloff, as usual. We always have Boris Karloff popping up. I mean, his work is massive, Boris Karloff. And Lugosi, because everybody associates Lugosi with Dracula, but he was in all sorts of things. Let's see. I think that's it. We've got more stuff about The Woman in Black. Yeah, the modern ghost story. The Woman in Black. Quite a bit about that. It's just generally a great magazine, and I really like it. And I look forward to it every month. And as I say, some become collectible and some more. I have some in these binders. That's one of the earliest issues I've got. Look at that cover. Witchfinder General, Vincent Price. And then I've got all these issues here, loads of these issues that are absolutely wonderful, Here's an interesting one I just picked out. Remember, not long ago I did a video about the legend of the 7 golden vampires. Well, here's an issue about that. Peter Cushing on the front there. Great articles in there about the film. Yeah. As I say, more of that. And then just one more this is from another earlier issue. Look. The Beauty Who Dripped Blood. Got by Ingrid Pitt. Yeah. All interviews there. Yeah. So, all these wonderful articles, and I love the artwork. The artwork really stands out of this magazine. As you can see, it's just there, the artwork. It just stands out, and it just wins me over totally. But that's me anyhow. I just thought I'd just show you I do get various magazines, and I thought you might be interested to look at that, because these are collectible, They're not, I mean, some of the magazines I don't keep much because I say with space, but these are definitely very collectible, and I keep them, yeah. So, that's it really. All I've got to say now is subscribe, and we can let you know when I put down these videos. If you like it, give it a like, No wrong with that, give it a like. And all I've got to say is, I'll see thee, and I'll see thee again.